lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My third eye open. I can see past the commotion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. Higher dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm guaranteed a check like TSA. One in a million like Elise. My words come with 50 million in the base. Set my intention, let it marinate. Get together, vibe dope and you get rid of weight. We come together, we need each other in a special way. Sun gazing, Pinot Glendy calcification. Sunbathing this neural melanin activated. Daily affirmations of truth, no affidavit. Shadow work can be a big part of manifestation. I don't want it if it's tainted. And I'm not here to be famous. It's a lot that I came with. I did a lot of explaining. And I talk it how I live it. You don't evolve, then you fall for anything you giving. I'm giving everything that I got and what I'm missing. I'm working on myself, can be my worst critic. Yeah, can be my third eye's open. I can see past the commotion. I can't get lost in the moment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I live on the side with the chosen. High dimensions we going. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Peace, family. Big energy. You already know the vibes. You know what I'm saying? Shadow work Sundays. Shadow codes to light work. You know what I'm saying? So I am King Manifest.
That's the guy, Khalil, man. We back for another episode, man. And I told y'all, better and better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? So we finna get it in with another podcast episode and not a podcast episode. With the guys.
I say. And I want to send a shout out to the Shadow Work Sundays mama, because she is in the building. We are a tribe. What's a tribe without mama? It's not, you feel me? So much gratitude to mama. And so let's get it. So we have a panel of amazing, powerful goddess. And I want to go and get into the introduction.
Say.
And this episode is called How to Love a Woman with Purpose. So the first guest that I want to present is a holistic healer of the mind, body, and soul, and the spirit. She is the podcast host of Healing Holistically podcast. Also, she is a creative entrepreneur in entertainment, music, and fashion. I am honored to present the wife of creation, Kanacia.
Peace, peace, wholeness. How is everyone tonight?
Vibrating high in abundance.
That's what's up. Likewise. Ashe.
So let's keep it rocking with this super star, amazing goddess panel that we have. So the next person that I want to be presenting is the owner of Intuitive Hands Mobile Phlebotomy, Creative Treats and Edibles, as well as Purple Lotus Flower. All of her businesses were founded during her time of healing. I am honored to present Candace Purple Lotus Flower.
Royal rising, royal afternoon, royal evening, everything. Peace, family. Much gratitude, bro.
I say. And so last but not least, we have Lisa Marie. And I started off with her name because, you know, a lot of y'all already know her. She was just on the show maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago. She is a healer, a photographer, a holistic speaker, and the founder and host of the podcast Seasoned Dialogue. I am honored to present Lisa Marie.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Wholeness.
Right.
So y'all know why we are here. You know what I'm saying? We are actually here to get these cheat codes and get these gems. And, you know, when it comes to relationships, those can become very much so shadow situations instead of light situations. And so we're going to break down the shadow aspect and the light aspect because we have a panel of holistic goddess. Mm-hmm. So let's get right to it. Sorry, that's my bad. I got too anxious. So first, let's ground ourselves. I got too lit, you know what I'm saying? So let's ground ourselves. At this time, if you want to meditate, you want to do some breath work, just become vulnerable to self. Disconnect from reality, and this is a moment of self-love. This is a moment of self-reflection. This is a moment of growth. I say. I say. So now let's get into the Rainbow Collective. So as I say, every Sunday, make sure you are reading these affirmations as you are seeing these colors and accepting the light codes and the elevation that it is actually bringing to you into your subconscious. I say. And really quick, before we move on, I have one more goddess to present on the panel. And so we have two Lisas tonight. So y'all get ready for that, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all taking over, with the big energy. So so this next guest is actually a seasoned entertainment specialist. She has a wide range of communication skill sets. She is instrumental in helping clients realize their potential and reaching relevant audiences through smart storytelling. I am honored to present Lisa Edwards.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hope everyone's doing great. I have been traveling, so I'm, all over the place.
Hey, that's
you are minding the business that pays you.
Yep.
Hey, trying to.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Here,
This is a goddess moving in purpose in real time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seeing this? You know what I'm saying?
I like 10 minutes ago, I was at a whole other space. So, I was like, okay, let me get out of here. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for this. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen and the conversations that we're gonna just spark. So I'm excited.
I say much gratitude, you know what I'm saying, for you giving your time and your energy, with us. So right now we are actually in the time of alignment and balance. And so at this time, it's on Kai to hit us with the brain gems.
Yes, all right, for sure. So Source had me switch it up a little bit since we just all got lit. We're going to start with sacral chakra energy right here on the bottom of the palms. This deals with all your reproductive organs. We're just going to create some pressure there, stimulate the Kundalini energy on both hands. Both hands. Anytime that you're doing something, make sure to do it on both sides because it reacts differently to both sides of your body, both sides of your brain. And we're going to bring that energy up to the solar plexus, right in the middle of the palm, but to the left or to the right towards the pinky. And that deals with the pancreas. The pancreas deals with your neuromelanin transmitters, your enzymic reactions, your hormones. Since we're doing a lot of alchemizing today and light work, we're going to need some light work from the solar plexus chakra. So we're going to stimulate some energy there. And then right under the ring finger is the heart space. So we're going to bring all of that energy to the heart space. I just felt a big shift as soon as I did that. Both hands. Then what we're gonna do is tap the middle of the heart, thymus gland. Bring all that energy to attentiveness, awareness. Take some deep breaths. And become aware that we're in this present moment right now. I see.
And so now, this is a time for you to meditate. This is a time for you to do that breath work. You know, like I said, this whole time has been an opportunity, but this is really made for that. I'm gonna play the heart chakra singing bowl, and you open your heart space, you know, and become one, and connect with self-love, and also connect with the love of the people that are around you that this information is going to influence. You know, the people that are given the information, you know, source. Love the Most High for even creating this whole situation. Love the breath in your body that you even have to be able to watch this, that we even have to be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? So I say. I'll show you. And so now we are ready to dive into this subject that, on the one end, it has been a very toxic conversation in our community. And so we are here to actually, you know, bring the awareness and the peace and the real clarity to this, and really teach our people how to do it, and how to be bosses, and how to, you know, take pride in yourself, and how to balance your ego, and how to use your gifts, but not be above anyone, but be able to still be able to love, be able to. And so my first question is, and all night, whoever wants to speak, you know, you just, you know, feel free. It's a flow state environment. What about this subject spoke to you? Because when I spoke to each one of you, it was like a certain type of reaction. As it was like, hold on, I feel that, you know. That's my first question.
I'll go first. Just for me, just from a masculine perspective, it spoke to me because of how insightful it can be for a lot of young melanated men and guys out here that are becoming, you know what I'm saying? And they need goddesses with an expanded awareness of what this all really is, to give them gems to how to be a divine masculine on the rise, especially in this current age. So this is definitely necessary, because being masculine, being a masculine and coming to the fullness of yourself, it has to have a lot of feminine energy in the process, and we're suppressing that in a lot of different areas. So it's just definitely needed for the masculine as well as the feminine, in my perspective.
I
say definitely. Just to interject, my perspective, I would definitely have to say, for me, coming from a space where I've found that most of my expansion, most of my growth, most of my wisdom comes via my relationships and those dynamics. And so I'm finding that it's a common thread, just in terms of like our conditioning as humans, and how so much is revealed via our relationships. You know, me coming from an experience where I did experience domestic violence, it it I could have, you know, walked away from that situation and looked at it like, oh, you know, this happened to me and that was messed up, you know, and then go and jump right into another relationship and recreate a pattern or a cycle. But that experience forced me to push me to acknowledging who I truly am at my core and the confidence to walk in my purpose. So I do feel like these types of conversations are necessary, important, critical to the dynamic, to us, you know, as humans, you know, and our the conditions that we've been made to feel like we have to live up to in our relationships, you know. So yeah, that's my perspective.
See.
Shay, yeah. That was very very powerful to
Mhm.
me because it spoke on, it was multidimensional first and foremost. But
Yep.
this is important to me, just to, you know, obviously you said a lot, but this is important from what you're saying is because it can kill the noise of the pain if we can lock in on it,
Mhm.
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like, you know, we've all heard things and sayings where, you know, women is come from emotion and men are is logic, you know, but um, in understanding all of it, when you're able to separate the emotional aspect of things and separate like what you were actually feeling in the experience, when you take that out and you actually look at what it taught you, you know, or, you know, I feel like
Mhm.
that's more so the way that we should begin to look at our relationships and the dynamics and how we teach each other, you know, and those experiences.
Mhm.
Yeah,
For me,
I
Yeah.
1,000,000% agree. It's for me,
I
it's
do too.
reflection. Um,
yeah.
definitely reflection. Also just trying to find my voice within the dating realm because like I'm a business owner. So you tell a man that off rip, he's like intimidated, and you're like, I'm not trying to do
Mhm.
that. I'm just that's just a part of who I am. So
Yeah.
just got in the conversation of just how do I navigate just relatability to each other.
Yep.
Like that's where I'm at.
Mm.
Mhm.
That
Well,
is
King, when you said something to me, when you said something about that subject, I pretty thought about in order for Candace and anybody else to learn something, you pretty much in order you got to learn what something is, and what we have learned is like what it is not. So pretty much you're learning what is not.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
our inability to activate what we know is a threat to our own destiny. So ignoring what you know can keep you in that environment. So I think all of us had that environment that we were put in before, and now the environment is changed, and now we're able to see the light. Now we're able to take authority over the issues
Yes.
and the problems that we had before. So we cracked into those habitual patterns that we had growing up. Like Kanesha said, her patterns was with relationships. Mine was as well. You know, not having my father there a little bit present, it put me through these habitual patterns with men where I was kind of searching for the wrong things and searching for love and whatever it was that I was searching for, that I was accepting things because I did not
Mhm.
know. So
Mhm.
Mm.
now that we know this, you know, things are changing now. So, you know, the sooner that that environment is going to make you demand what you know, in a minute that
Yes.
environment is going to demand something from you, right? So you got to
Yes.
stop focusing on what you don't know and breathe life into what we do know. And that's what we're doing now, pretty much, and teaching
Mhm.
people differently.
Yes. I think also to add to it, what I got from it and what I thought about was whenever you add woman and purpose, for a lot of people, that's a setback. They don't want to hear that. That's too strong. For a man and purpose, it seems to align. So I was excited about going deep into this conversation because many women don't feel they have a purpose, only because surrounded by so many things that they are operating in, whether they are, in a relationship or being a mother, they don't know anything outside of that. So for me, purpose means just showing up for yourself, knowing exactly who you are, standing in your truth, and being okay with that. And also allowing people around you to understand that purpose is a beautiful thing, especially when it's connected to a woman. I mean, it's not to say that it's more powerful than a man, but purpose for a woman is absolutely beautiful. And it goes beyond just being a mother and being, a significant other or a wife. It's just a beautiful, combination.
And I wanna ground that statement really quick for those that um I talk to a lot of men, a lot of guys that get kind of get frustrated with how I speak about the divine feminine. When when you're speaking about you talked about a woman with purpose. I literally lost my train of thought. What was the last thing you said?
He
Well,
said a woman with purpose is beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And it shouldn't when we speak of a woman in purpose, it shouldn't scare other people. It should be just as synonymous as you hear a man in purpose.
Mhm.
It should give the same type of energy.
And
Yeah.
we're more than significant others, more than just mothers.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I was trying
Oh,
to.
that's what it was. Really just being able to like you said, that it's a stereotype mindset that we have our relationships based off of stereo, like these movies and what people say, and then the biggest people that create our reality and the people we date is our family, because we
Yes.
want them to approve of this person. And
Mhm.
so we end up, or say they like a person that's initially good, that turns into something else, and now we're trying to tell them this ain't the same person, but now they're so attached to the idea of this relationship that we forward to that. And so as a woman, I think the idea of what a woman is to society, sometimes y'all may, what you're saying, you may naturally subconsciously fold to this, even though there's
Mhm.
more there.
Yes.
You have more life, you
Mhm.
have more things you want to do in your life, but you're suppressed by mother, whatever it is. So
Mhm.
I want to
Yeah.
segue into a question that I didn't even have. So with that being said, how did y'all branch out? How did y'all break that cycle mentally? What you know what I'm saying? How did y'all say, what, that's not going to be me? There's more inside of me, and I want to give it to the world.
I'll say
Yeah.
for me, my mom, she's always like been an entrepreneur and a mom, but in a sense, she's been kind of like what's like those kind of moms that like they live through you type of thing, like the things that
Mhm.
she didn't get to do, she like
Mhm.
made us do.
Mhm.
And I just realized like I don't want to put my kids through that because I don't want to subject them to like my thoughts or what I think they should be. I want them to live their best life. That's who you are. That's how God created you. But it like
Mhm.
that how she used to like brag on us to her friends, and it was just like, girl, I'm more than a honor student, a SGA person, a whatever. Like I'm more than that. So that kind of like, I was like, I will never do this to my children. I
Mhm.
never would be this person. And that really halted my just like urge to get married or like have a family. And it really made me find who I was.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Um,
Right.
Shay, I would have to say for me, as I did mention earlier, my a lot of my growth and expansion and wisdom has come via my relationships. But it's all relationships. It's intimate, personal relationships. It's all relationships. But with me finding that I did have inner child wounding and issues with abandonment. And so I did seek and search for love in relationships. So that was where I've gained the most lessons, and wisdom and expansion. And I would have to say, upon my awareness, upon um, being forced to see how I was subconsciously giving so much of myself, giving so much of my energy, my essence, my creativity, my everything into the relationship, but not serving myself, And so when I speak about the human conditioning, us as women, we're conditioned. Those of us that have those experiences or lessons through to our expansion, we tend to overly try to compensate in our relationships, and tend to kind of, like you said, fold ourselves down, and kind of constrict ourselves a bit, and I found myself doing that in that relationship. And so the reason why I speak to holistic healing, and I don't focus too much on the actual abuses, because I needed that experience to show me how much I was just giving myself away, how much I was not honoring myself. And so in order for me to fully step out of it, I thought, leaving the relationship, starting life over, doing all this internal work was, how I was ending that cycle and curse. But sure enough, I found myself in another relationship where I was kind of doing the same thing, where I was not honoring myself in the relationship, and so it finally had to click for me that it's this idea and this concept of what a relationship is supposed to be like that's interfering with, my actual growth and expansion as a woman, and not only that, but the importance of getting in a relationship with someone who is also clear on their purpose and clear on where they're at in life. Because those dynamics, the relationship again is about expansion and about teaching each other, So if I'm on this path and this is where I'm at in life, and you're not really necessarily clear, it's not that I can't be here and I'm not here to support you, but we're not going to piggyback off of where I'm at, and it creates an imbalanced dynamic. So I would just have to say that for me to truly break the pattern, I had to really become aware what the pattern was, what I was subconsciously doing, the ways I was not honoring myself, and recreate, recreate a new system for myself, how I look at relationships, my perception on things, how I engage in relationships had to be changed because I was conditioned.
Yes. Facts. I think mine came. Whew, that was a lot. I get it. It's so heavy. When you hear it, you're like, man, people don't even understand. Definitely. So mine came from me being married 3 times. So I got married 3 times. All 3 marriages, it taught me something, every single last one of them. So before I started the healing process, I did look at those situations as, oh, they're doing this to me. They're doing this to me. I was playing victim, all kind of stuff. When I got to that 3rd marriage, that's the one that woke me up, put me on them knuckles and said, okay, it's time, because you did this pattern and this same hamster wheel you've been going on over and over and over again. So it's something that's going to have to give. And that's where my breakthrough came through with that relationship. I really found out that I didn't have boundaries at all. I didn't love myself at all, period, because of the things I tolerated. And I tolerated some things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have tolerated before. And then even you will say, oh, I'll never tolerate nothing like that. I'll never let nobody do that, until you get into that situation. Yeah, I found out the hard way. But me bringing that light now to other women and saying it's okay, what you have for you, people see greatness in you. That's a lot of times it's the person that you're sleeping with. They see the greatness in you. And if they're still in their pain and their trauma and they haven't dealt with their things, instead of them having the patience to be able to say, okay, she has some things going on. she has some trauma that's going on. I can work with her as a man because I'm supposed to be here to protect and provide. Maybe we can have dialogue and we can go through these things and say, why are these things triggering her? What is it that happened in her past that's possibly keeping her from connecting with me? Instead, sometimes people manipulate that situation to see that you don't have boundaries. They see the greatness in you, but they take that away sometimes instead of having it the reverse way. With us, we can see this in different people and we can have more compassion now. We coming from love. So it's different. And you have to have that person, like you said, that person has to see just as much as you can see in order to balance that off. Because if they don't, these are the same patterns that I was running into.
Yes.
And I said, no, I have to use more discernment. I got to love on myself a little bit more. I need my cup all the way so full. So when you come, you just going to pour it over. You know, you're not going to be depleting from me. And I'm not going to allow it whatsoever because I'm a Aquarius, y'all. And I was telling them that I'm a water barrier. I got clean water over here, baby. And this whole environment that I got right here, I'm nurturing and I'm birthing my babies. My babies is my businesses. And I need you to have that same vision. I need you to see my vision just as well as I can see yours so that we can execute together. That's when it means something. And most people that's attached to materialistic things, if you attach to money and materialistic things, you're not even going to be able to see what I'm seeing anyway, because it ain't even about that money energy, baby. It's going to come to you. That's your abundance. It's going to come, but you got to step into your purpose, put that foot all the way in there and say, okay, it's time to go. I got to put them elbow grease in there. I'm going to have to come in here and punch a little bit. And if you can't punch with me, we're going to have a problem.
I think a lot of men need to have that inner dialogue that you're saying of like, okay, how do I connect with her to help her flourish? They don't have that inner thoughts, that inner, well, let me not say all of them.
Yeah.
Ones that I run into.
Yeah.
They don't have that inner dialogue of like, oh, I see she's like thriving. She's doing these things. How do I support? Because if I support her, she's going to turn it around 1,000%. They don't, they get jealous.
Yes.
And they think like, oh, she's doing better than me. So now I got to show her up or I have to tear her down or whatever the case may be, whatever thought process goes on. So I think that they need to start with check yourself. Are you intimidated or jealous of me and what I'm doing to propel myself or sacrificing or whatever to get to where I want to be? I think it definitely starts with them like just being honest and checking your ego.
Yes.
And hey, do I hate her? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yep. Straight like that.
It sounds like to me that y'all are women or goddesses that have done shadow work. So you have been to those deep dark places. You have been. See, people think so many different things are gangster, but the most gangster thing you can do is healing.
Yes.
So if you've been in those rooms, you've been in them experiences, and now you're essentially what it sounds like to me, because this is not my reality. I'm just paraphrasing from what I'm hearing, that you're dealing with men that have not been in that ring with self.
Yeah.
And so now the problem is that you're holding them accountable, but they can't even face the reality of holding themselves accountable. So a woman holding them accountable is offensive.
Yes.
And then especially now if you're actually putting action behind it.
Because it feels like a mother in a sense. You know, it's not that we're not pounding them against the head. It's like we're just looking out for them. That's it. You know, but I think they correlate that what they perceive as nagginess as what their moms used to do, or they correlate that with mothers. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
Just to comment on something that you said earlier. This is kind of what inspired I have a brand and it's called Healing Coochie. And I have t-shirts called Healing Coochie. And you know, it's
I like
really
that.
it's out there, you know, it's really out there. But you know, the inspiration behind the Healing Coochie t-shirts was a dynamic with myself in an unhealed masculine energy, and the inspiration was more so, this person who struggled much with like imposter syndrome and who they were, and recognized me for who and what I am, the essence, but not fully able to meet me where I'm at, but not willing to let me go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I'd found myself at a point where I started to recognize, like, okay, I'm literally attracting men that are showing me something. So each relationship that I'm getting into, although it may be like a painful experience or something that I'm going through that's traumatic or whatever it's teaching me, I'm noticing that I'm attracting what I need expansion on,
What you need
right?
to
So
work
my
on. Yep.
perception on the relationship started to change. And like
Yep.
once I got it and it clicked, I'm like, oh wow. So, you know, this is me. I'm clear on who I am, my
That's
essence.
right.
And now no longer, I'm aware of these patterns and these cycles. So once I can discern and I see it and I'm aware, it's like, all right, nah, like that's not it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
okay.
That's a definition of most of our lessons is taught through
Yes.
our sufferings. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Like we suffered so much, and you are dead on a pinpoint with as far as the relationships. Every man that I've even encountered that came through that part of me, it was coming up. That stuff that I probably just dig down deeply rooted that hurt me in my past. He'll come along and he'll trigger something, and I'm like, okay, what I'm supposed to do is this. All right, this is something that I probably hid somewhere. So let me
Yes.
go ahead, and now I'm more receptive. I'm strong enough now to deal with it. I'm gonna sit there, I'm gonna evaluate it, I'm gonna do my reflective thinking and say, okay, Candace, this came from when you had this situation. This is a different person, this is a different situation. All right, let's kill that and let's move forward. So it's like an access door. Every time the relationships and about love and sex, it changes every time you deal with a new person, and that's good. So sometimes we gotta have that, and we can't look at it like it's a bad thing. We just gotta keep moving forward. We get smarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I
get
got, I
smarter,
got a
and your
I got a
boundaries
question
get
for the panel.
stronger.
So, knowing that you've been through extreme amounts of shadow work and healing, and you are able to deal with it in a more efficient way, are there times where you find your mind wandering in very, very dark places and you don't know how to get yourself out of it? What do you do to get yourself out of it? And what would you say to mothers, women, daughters who are in that place right now, trying to become as vibrant and as in a state of flow with healing as you are?
You never stop healing. You never stop
Never.
healing. Like you may get over one hump, but you're going to still continue to heal other facets of yourself. That hump that you get over may be that happy point, but you got something else that's coming your way. And so for women who feel like they're stuck in a cycle, or they feel like they're going backwards, you really aren't. You're really progressing, but the mind tells you, oh, I thought you healed, huh? Now you stuck. That's not what it is. I mean, you are literally progressing. And I think if you keep thinking that you're not moving, you're not going to get to the point where you want to heal some more. I mean, there will be some setbacks. I mean, that's just life, period. You have a setback in life. You can't stay stuck. You got to keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, she started out with you healing.
The only way is
forever.
That's it.
I mean, because you don't know your triggers or you don't know your points. You have to keep living. I mean, you feel like you're going over one thing and then there's something new and it's like, okay, here we go again. But I have the tools this time. I know what's necessary. I've been through something similar. So I kind of know how to go through this process. The first time was hard. You're new to it. So you don't know where you at. I mean, everything is a confusion. But once you heal past one thing, it's like you've been adding on the tools in your toolbox. Okay, I got a screw, I got a hammer, I got nails, I know how to put all this stuff
Yeah.
together, and I'm good. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
Family, that's
And
a
that's
shadow
why we
code.
we're gonna look for
Yeah.
men that got that same toolbox, okay? Because you be like, I hope you got as many tools as I got, because we about to go to war in this thing, baby. If we gonna
Uh,
get it together like that, I'm telling you.
to
Well,
to piggyback. Okay, first of all, y'all get y'all healing coochie t-shirts. But
Okay.
Lisa.
go ahead and
Okay.
get your healing coochie t-shirts. She is my client, so I
Okay.
gotta rep her at every point in my life.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, allow yourself grace as
That's
well.
right.
You
Yes.
you don't know everything. We don't know everything. So the fact that you're going through something, it's all learning. It's all you're trying to. We don't know why we're here. We're
That's
trying to figure everything out. Like, so I think grace is definitely important with yourself, most importantly, and with others, it's important too. But just allow yourself the space to learn.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That is
Um,
right. In order to birth anything, you got to know the right environment to nurture it in, honey.
that's
It's
100%.
always our environment.
Yes. Yes.
100%. Yeah, I would have to say the same thing pretty much that everyone said in terms of your toolbox. And once you've been through something, you've experienced something. For me, the most important thing is the ability to separate my emotions from the actual experience. Like when I can kind of just ask myself, all right, well, or follow my emotions and work with them, you know what I'm saying? To really navigate myself through the problem. Like, okay, well, what is it really that you feel a way about? What is it really that you're upset? Once I start doing that, I my that emotional part of my brain where I'm just upset and I'm hurt and I'm not thinking logically or I'm not making a connection, it goes away. So over time you develop
Mhm.
that strength, you develop that muscle that you're able to navigate through things that come, and really more so in understanding that it's you can't control anything outside of yourself. So learning how to maintain
Yeah.
your own nervous system and your own homeostasis is critical to your development. So
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It make you be more intentional about going higher. It make you be more intentional about the places you go, the people you be around, the conversations that you have, everything. I vet everything coming across me now because it's like, nah.
That's right.
We definitely have to be on that. That's why I say you mind the business that pays you.
That's
And
right.
also that just the power of being able to walk away. That woman that can walk away, honey, it's a lot of power behind that. Because there was
Woo!
times when I know I
Yeah.
could not walk away. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't walk away from this. And you be so loyal to everything except for yourself. You got to be loyal to you first.
Mm-hmm.
Because loyalty, that's a characteristic that's built. You know what I mean? People, they be like, oh, I love his personality. I love her personality. We can't go by personalities because personality changes, right? So every room you go in, oh, you're going to change. You can be this person, you can be this person, you can be this person. But when it comes to me looking at your character, now I'm paying attention to your belief system because that's where your characteristics are built on, your belief system, right? So that's what I'm going to look at, and I'm going to say, how is your morals, how is your values and your principles against what I have, and that's how we're going to move forward. It has to match, and that's in
Yeah.
any relationship that we look in, whether it's friendship, whether it's intimacy, all of that. We have to. Other than that, you'll be stuck a lot.
Yes.
I'll show you, y'all going in.
We have a lot of pent up. We needed this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the beautiful part about it is that you can't premeditate where this is going to go. And there's so many dynamics to it. There's so many different stories. There's so many gems. And I just want to let the family know, once again, these are shadow codes. You know what I'm saying? They are dropping gems. These are cheat codes. They're also shadow codes. Everybody focus on the light work and the light codes, but what about the shadow codes? How did we make it through these situations to even we talking about bringing our shadow to the light. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about us rising from darkness into the light. We're talking about us rising from depression into peace. You see what I'm saying? Because in that moment, you know what's so deep about it? You find your purpose in the hell, and then you're able to enjoy it in heaven.
That's right.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's right.
You know,
Ooh,
that's
that
a
piece is something else.
Like, I was just
I won't
explaining, I was
trade
just
nothing
telling that to my
for it.
sister. I was just telling that to my sister and explaining to her about healing and how it's not always peaches and cream and lollipops and candy. And sometimes it's very, very vexing. But a way that you can gauge what healing really is in its entirety is just go look at nature. On a beautiful sunny day, it's serene. On a traumatic storm and hurricane day, it's still serene. So you still have to find that neutrality and between your perspective on healing and your perspective on what you're going through in that moment. Like, it's we got to stop being soft sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we gotta stop being soft.
Yeah, I agree. I think we want things how we see them in our head, and it's not realistic.
That's right.
It's like, hey, God's like, wake up. No. And we're like, wait a minute, you're not gonna do that? And you're like, this is ghetto. Like, no. But you have to realize, like, this is life. Like, life is real. We're real. Y'all are real.
Yes.
And it is a continuous just test. And how do we pass the test? We have to study. We have to go to class. We have to do these things to pass the test. So
that's right.
Those things that we go through is podcasts, group chats. We're group studying. We're doing study sessions. We're going to tutors. We're doing these things to pass this test. So it's just not realistic. And this is me talking to myself because I'm so in my head where I'm like, why would this happen to me? But
that's the best question to ask, though, in my perspective. I was just talking to King about this right before the episode. And when you experience something, the first thing you should do is become aware to how it's playing out in your reality, because it's coming from you. If you're experiencing something, that means it's being projected from you internally. So all of these situations, that's like the first thing that we should ask is why me? Why is this coming from me?
But for me, it was more of, I'm a good person. I don't do anything wrong. I don't do anything bad to people. And I'm thinking, I'm like, why would this happen to me? You know?
But all of those things teach us a lesson afterwards. Like, we can show us that, you know, I've had those questions many times. Why me? You know, why are people this way or why that? Well, why not me? You know, if it wasn't given to me, I would have learned the lesson. I would still continue being myself and thinking everything is hunky dory. So just like you said, you know, we asked the question, but we need to follow it up with why not. You know, we are not, we can't escape the reality of life and situations. We are not anybody special, even though we think in our minds we are. You know,
right here, look at me. I think I'm God's gift to earth, if you ask me.
Okay.
God humbled me like, sis, sit down.
I'm going to say this though, because guess what? You are a gift to God's green earth. You are amazing. You are all those things.
No, I'm saying it real bad.
I'm finna balance it though. We gonna ground it, because we got a whole. Everything can be done from a holistic perspective. So with that being said, with you doing all that, these things happening to you because as you're moving as this amazing being, you have to have standards.
That's right.
Yes, there you go.
Okay.
That is actually what protects us, and that's what creates who we are. The things we say no to, the things we say yes to, that is what that is what lets a person know if they can manipulate you or not. How much they can get over on you, how serious you are about yourself, how much do you love yourself. The only reason why people take advantage of us because they saw a loophole of what we would take advantage of ourselves.
Boom. Yep. All day long. Yes, baby. You should put yourself on a pedestal, okay? I'm talking about put it way up there. We cannot be ashamed about who we are. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we strive to be better. We want to be better. We had this illusion and we created this illusion back in the day, and it kept us on that hamster wheel. And now
Yeah.
it's like you have to be adaptive to your purpose now, right? So the world opening up, we got all these things that's happening, all these opportunities. So now we got to be intentional about who we are, you know, what we have to do, the places we've been called to, because we're not called to be conforming to nobody. We adapt. We
Exactly.
don't conform.
Yeah.
And all my life, I conformed to rejection. I was getting rejected a lot, not only by my father, by things with my mother, with things in my family, even with men. And I started conforming to that. So my body started reacting to rejection.
Mm.
It got to the point, it was like, oh, I don't even want to, you know, even with, I'll go in a little bit deeper, especially when it came to sexuality as a woman. I started not even want to like come on, you know, to a man or something like that. I didn't know how, because I was scared I was going to be rejected. Because it happened to me in the past. It happened to that one time and I held on to it. And I was like, nah, I got to release that and let that go. That's where that wound care, all of that stuff come from.
Yes.
Whew, honey. Yes. And I think our families and people around us, they've been putting us on a pedestal for so long, in the wrong way though. You know what I mean?
On
Like
their
your
pedestal.
family showing on their pedestal. There you go. So now you can't even see your dark moments that you need. Like, hold on, I thought that I was this and I was that, because that's what my family told me.
Mhm.
But then when you get to this point, you like, dang, I really have some work. Yeah, so we got to concentrate on that stuff or whatever, because I already know who I am up here. I need to
Right.
concentrate on that other stuff that's internal right now, so it can keep making me better.
Come
So
on
since we're
now.
talking about the duality, the
Yeah.
dualistic nature of things, I want to segue into this question. I think this is kind of like one of my it's a question that's kind of out there, but I think it needs to be answered and brought, you know, I need understanding. You know what I'm saying? We need understanding, you know, as the men, even the women, because they understand how to do this from a holistic place, from a balanced place. So there's this thing that we see that they promote called the independent woman. And we've seen that from a toxic way. We've seen it promoted from a toxic way. So my question is that is there a such thing as an independent woman? And if so, is it possible to do it from a holistic way or in a holistic way?
I'm gonna go ahead and answer that, and then I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I have to head out after this, but it was a beautiful conversation. Thank you so much for this. Um, I would have to say that for me, it was really important because I'd had so much of my expansion and growth and wisdom given via my relationships and those experiences, that it was important for me to walk with God alone at some point. You know, and so even with me right now being in Jamaica, I'm actually not in the States. I'm away. I've been here for a couple of weeks, looking into doing some missionary work and some other projects. But I had to really take a leap out on faith, and I had to separate myself and kind of cut cords with certain relationships or ties, because I'd become aware of the patterns. I'd become aware that I wasn't necessarily living up to my fullest potential, you know, and sometimes I feel like that's a difficult thing for us to accept, because, you know, when we find love or when we feel as though we've reached a level of comfortability, you know, that's where, you know, we're supposed to stay. And sometimes that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning point. So I would have to say that for me, it was really important and imperative for me to know what it feels like to be alone, to not be in a relationship, to walk with God, to practice my own sovereignty, you know, to be an actual sovereign individual, autonomous, and learn and think for myself. And I also just have to say, I had to really learn that a lot of the subconscious programming that we'd had via movies, Disney, and different things that we've picked up, and how a relationship is supposed to be or what it's supposed to look like, had really had me messed up, you know. So now that I've found who I am as an individual, you know, yeah, like I now can give myself from a holistic perspective without limiting myself in a relationship now, because I know what that feels like, you know. So that's one thing that I would have to say in terms of an independent woman. Is not necessarily being independent from a man. It's just not being dependent on one to survive and live and thrive and be happy.
Now, I'm gonna say this because we're gonna
I
before we
love
break
that.
out to everybody else. I know you gotta go. I want to respond to this, and I want to. That is so powerful because when you said I have to get, I just need to walk with God. Most times, the independent woman aspect is literally based off of money and status, nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And with that money and status, you can still be broken.
Yep.
You can still be all these other things that, behind closed doors, that status and that money means nothing.
That's right.
And so
Nothing.
you brought the healing aspect, that basically saying that every woman, every man, everybody should have independent moments in their life because independence is where you elevate.
That's
So
right.
I'm not.
Yes,
I'm apologies for being long-winded. I know you got to go, but is there anything you want to promote, family?
No worries. No. Again, you can find me wifeofcreation.com, the Wife of Creation. We got the Healing Coochie t-shirts up there. Listen.
I'm gonna give you one of those.
And we will be
Look,
donating.
you got purple.
Yes, we got different colors.
Look, we got all the colors.
Okay.
Some women's non-for-profit organizations. Thank you so much for tonight, and y'all have a blessed evening.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
Continue being obedient to your purpose.
That's
I
right.
say.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
So let's keep it rocking. So the question is about the independent woman. Don't get me wrong, Kanacia went in and definitely brought it. And don't get me wrong, y'all don't have to respond if you feel like she summed it up. But just for if you have a perspective on it, we would definitely love to hear it and accept those gems.
Yeah, that goes back to being obedient to your purpose. That's exactly what she's doing. And that's what most of the women we are doing. You being obedient to purpose, you allowing God and source, universe, whatever you may call the higher up to guide you. And you don't have any control over who comes in your life, who leaves your life. You don't have control over that. All you know is you're right here. You're focused in on what it is that you need. You're building a legacy, regardless if a man is around or he's not. So it doesn't have anything to do with, like she said, you're not trying to be that way. It's just when you being obedient, you gonna be obedient because you've been through enough.
Yeah.
You're like, I know if I make this choice this way, that is not going to put me where I need to be. But I know if I go this way, which is away from most of the stuff that you've been used to, this right here, this is going to work. I'm going to tap right into my vault because this is where I'm supposed to be. And can't nobody tell you where you're supposed to be. Only you and God knows that.
Yes.
I say.
So you just being obedient is okay. And yes, every woman and man should experience that independence. Like, I love the fact that I went through solitude. I'm still going through a lot of times. I had to go back in solitude sometimes off and on, and it's okay. I got to go sit with myself and say, hey, girl, come on. Let's do this because we got some stuff that we got to do. I'm reminded of what it is that Candace is here for. I didn't know before, but now that I know, I won't allow anyone to come in between that at all whatsoever. So you have to really be on that same path. And women, most of the time, we want that man to go through the same things that we have either went through or something, so he can understand the work that you got to put in, baby. You can't skip the work. And the work is always that internal work. You can't skip that. So if you have a dude that want to be materialistic and he attached to the money and he attached to all of this stuff, I can't be submissive to you with money. That's
right.
not going to work for me. But then at the same time, of you being a man, you got to learn to be submissive to that queen too, because sometimes she got that toolbox to bust out for you, and she going to give you some things that you really, really need to listen to, because a lot of times we know a little bit more sometimes.
That's right.
With some things, and they gotta listen too. They don't want to listen. They gotta listen.
Exactly. And I was just about to say that, like, us men need to understand that again, back to when I said we got to stop being soft. Like, we also have to stop being soft when we're being told what we're not doing from a goddess. Like, I feel like when you said being obedient to your purpose, I feel like men get intimidated by that because we weren't taught confidence, or we weren't taught obedience, or we weren't taught courage, or we weren't taught discipline. And if we were taught it was taught in a very stern way, or it was taught in a very, it wasn't a balanced form of discipline. It was discipline from a physical third dimensional perspective, but we need discipline internally. You know what I'm saying? To be able to understand when we see a goddess and she's on her purpose and she's being nonchalant, or it seems like she's not paying you any attention, it's not, you don't need to go harder. You know what I'm saying? That means that you need to reflect and go back in your corner as well. She'll see that. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all both are in that same magnetic field now. Y'all both in that same resonance of consciousness. So as guys, we definitely need to understand to take a message, take a hint. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
Honestly, moving like that is what, elevated my marriage in many ways. And it keeps me sharp. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're with a goddess with purpose, I guarantee you better be on a purpose. And so my goddess, she literally tells me stuff. It'll be situations. I said this before. It'll be situations where someone will be, somebody that did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I know it, like, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be riding for me right now. But she will actually speak and tell me what I could have done better.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Every time. And I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Originally, it would piss me off.
And you know what's deep about that?
Me,
Our ego do the same thing. When we get into a heated conversation with somebody, and then after we walk away, what we be sitting there doing? I should have said this. That would have made them feel real bad. I should have said that. That would have made them feel real bad. So we have to, again, stay aware of that same aspect that you were staying aware of within your marriage, and flip the scale. You know what I'm saying? And take and call back the power from the ego and not allow it to subjugate you to those thoughts.
What? When you do that, I'm getting constant upgrades because now I expect it. Now when she said, I'll be like, you cold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You cold, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we got
her intentions, Pierre.
That's right.
Exactly. We got to appreciate it.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
She's not trying
and that
to
woman, her intentions is always pure most of the time. They pure. And that's what they gotta know the difference between that. It's like she's really down for me like that.
I gotta say this though to the goddess. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Let me speak on this for a second. Sometimes the approach, it's not what y'all say, it's how y'all say it.
I agree.
Sometimes our exterior is so hard. Sometimes they're like, he's a man and he already doing all this and this and this and that you think that you could dump it on us. But as men, we honestly hold a lot of more information than women, really understand. They think we're just always talking, but we really hold in too much.
Yes.
We really folks should speak more. So whenever we get that correction, sometimes we get really offended because immediately we like, we're already somewhere else. So sometimes we may need a softer approach. Not saying that we need y'all to baby us, but sometimes we need the approach to be a little bit more smoother. Because when my wife changed her approach,
build it up.
Because I know my mouth is slick, and sometimes I'd be like, you know what? Let me not. I'm a Leo. I'm a fire sign. What I said what I said. Hey, Leo.
Hey, hold on. You a fixed sign too. See, I'm a Aquarius. We fixed signs. Leo's clear. They fix. It's like whatever it is. You be like, come on. So we gotta adjust sometimes.
Yes. I said what I said, and I stand on it, and I don't care. But sometimes I look at my man, and I'm like, I really hurt his feelings, and I be feeling bad. But I'm like, you be all right. But you're right. Like, it definitely is our approach. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes y'all need to be told off. Yeah. Sometimes.
On that, I'm gonna say I agree on you because in marriage, like I know you understand it. You know your person, right? And so sometimes with women, it's like a situation like you were speaking on. Your wife calling out something or something that she's seen and she's telling you about it. And sometimes the approach of a woman is we see it, we gonna say it, and we don't think about how it comes out. And so there has been difficulty even in my marriage. Like I'm gonna say it, but then I have to understand too. My husband may not like that approach, so I have
Yeah.
to soften it up a bit because we never know where our energy lies. It could come to me as just being abrupt and honest, but for him, it's
Mm-hmm.
loud and why you got to be so upfront? Okay,
Yeah.
well, let me take a step back because I could have approached you a different way. I could have said it a
Mm-hmm.
different way. And when
I,
Yep.
again, when you married and you know your person, you start to just hone into their personality. You don't want to hurt
Mm-hmm.
feelings.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just different. It's just
For
different.
me, it's like when I want something, I'll instead of me saying like I directly say I want this, I'll be like, I really like when you get me flowers. It makes me feel special.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, there's like 8 million
And
flowers on the
it's
table, and I'm
so
like,
annoying. I tell my wife, I said, why are you sending me hints? She said, well, you supposed to already know. I said, I
Yeah.
do know, but how you know I know? Well, don't you know, don't you?
Yes.
it's kind of like you kind of have to like not bait, but like kind of like a little soft, like a little push, a little nudge, a little encouragement of like, I really like those flowers you got me last week. Those are really nice. And then now he's thinking like, oh, okay, let me get those flowers again because when I got the flowers, I got this, and so it's just like a psychological thing with them. Sometimes you have to like kind of figure out how to get your way without, you know, being rude.
I learned that vulnerability is the biggest thing, and it's like being
Mm,
so vulnerable is the way to really connect like you need to. If
yes.
you can't be vulnerable with that person, that is not going to go a long way because you're that person being vulnerable, you telling them the things that they want and what they need, and you yourself, you have to know what you want before you even have that conversation. A lot of times, sometimes you don't know what you want yet, but going through your
Yeah,
journey, you start learning. In every relationship, you start learning, like, no, I don't like that. Yeah, I like this. No, I don't like that. And you'll start
yeah,
developing, and it's going to change. Every person you date, every person you come in contact with, everything is going to change. Your sexual desires is going to change, all of that. But you have to be able to be vulnerable with them and let them know what it is. And then it's okay. That's how you learn that star player. Most men are not, they're not built to be naked. Women, we naked. We just like, yeah, this happened to me and this happened. You can sit there and talk all day. This happened, this happened. But men are more like they sit back, they fold their
yeah.
arms, they go into protection mode,
That's
and they're
right.
still trying to protect their feelings. They're not really trying to really give you everything about them because they don't know what you're gonna do with that
That's
information.
oof.
They
And guess
don't know
what?
what
Yeah.
you're gonna do with that.
It's a one-sided game. So y'all playing offense, and most men. I ain't gonna say
Yes.
y'all. I'm gonna say some women playing
Yeah.
offense, and some men are playing defense. Because obviously,
Yes.
Yeah.
this is not everybody, but it's like, and we gotta learn how.
Yeah.
You know how when the ball get turned over, the roles switch. But it's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
we stuck in defense. You know what I'm saying? Like and now y'all you with the ball, like it's y'all turn, it's your go. You know what I'm saying? Go make a
Yep.
play. You know, so
I
Yep.
want to say this on
Yeah.
vulnerability also, in relationships as well. One thing, and I'm not going to say that all women do it, but a lot of women, we wish to have a man who is vulnerable and open. And then when he becomes vulnerable and open, it's almost like, why are you so sensitive? Like we
Yep.
want to create that space and we want that so bad. And then when they become that person, some women
Hmm.
move down.
That's so
Like
funny.
it
They
happens.
don't know what to do with
They
it.
don't know what to do.
Right.
It's like you wanted me. It takes a man a lot to break those walls down, more than for us. And I think
Yeah.
when it's opened up and women are like, "What? Like, why? It's just it's horrible." And I mean, think
Yeah.
into another situation where maybe you had that relationship with someone, right? And you asked for vulnerability with that man, and he became open and vulnerable with you. And the moment y'all got into an argument, you called all of those things and his vulnerability
Hmm.
out, and then you ended up with a
Yeah.
breakup. Well, the next person that he ends up with, he's gonna shut down because he figures that every
Yeah.
woman is going to proceed this way when she gets upset. So
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think we as women have to check ourselves as well. I mean, we
Yes.
have good, assets and everything, but I know for a lot of women, we ask for things, and when we receive it, we break a man down.
Yep. All day long. Then you end up having them out here requiring honesty from a woman, but they continue to lie to this woman,
Yes.
and then they're trying to have meaningless sex to fill those voids, because now it's going to turn into a physical thing only now.
Wow.
Mm.
But
You get what I'm saying? Because they so boxed in.
do you think that, like, when they're growing up, their moms do that to them, and so
It
they're
can come
like,
from that too.
It could. Yeah.
The love that they
your
never
mom,
received from her.
Yes.
like,
I
I'm
ain't gonna
saying,
lie to
like,
you,
if
like,
they're being vulnerable, or I don't know, like maybe they open up to their mom, like their mom's comforting in the moment, but then like they get in trouble and she throws it back up in their face, and they're like, "What the heck?" So
Yeah.
do you think that they like it starts there, and they're
Of
like,
course.
Yes. And
you
I think
know,
yeah,
it's the
most
way
definitely.
mothers, I honestly think that it's the way mothers rear their sons as well. I mean, let's just be real in the Black family. I mean, how many times have you overheard a woman tell a little boy not to cry?
Yeah.
So it
Hmm.
starts from that as well.
So I would
Yeah,
say
and I
with me,
think vulnerable. Somebody said something in the chat too about they think vulnerable adult is equivalent to an infant crying, and that is so true. So a lot of times guys think because they have to be vulnerable, they got to be a crybaby. No, that's not what we're saying when we're telling you to be vulnerable. So yes, that's correct. It's not, that's the wrong impression that some guys think, that they have to just be this old teary-eyed man. It's not that. It's like, no, just tell me what's wrong so we can get
Yes.
past it.
Yes.
Because I
Yeah.
really, especially if you know his worth, you know that this man has potential, just as well as the opposite. That man that knows you're worth it, oh, he's going to build that dialogue with you and
That's
make
right.
sure that, oh, let's get this together, because I want you. I
Mm,
know I don't need
Yeah.
you, but I
that's
want
right.
you in my life because you are worth it. You have the tools and you have the things and the nurturing skills that I need for you as my woman. So let me go ahead and lay down for a minute and sit
Mm,
back and listen. And now I need to give you what you pouring into me, because most of the time the women, we pour first. We
yes.
pour
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
heavy,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
All the time. It just takes them a little time, but then we have to be patient too on our
That's
end, and
right.
still once again have that, that dialogue, that we've been through what we've been through before, to understand him and why it's taking him time to be vulnerable. Because it took us time too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like because with me, I went through a lot of childhood trauma with my mom. I mean, obviously y'all saw the episode. If y'all know, if y'all didn't, go tap in Mother's Day episode a few weeks ago. My mama told our story, but we went through hell. We didn't have a great relationship at all. So when I got with my wife, you know, the love that I was getting from her and certain things, as I became aware 5 years into the marriage, I realized, dang, I have literally been longing to her for the things that my mother didn't give me. I've
Mhm.
literally have, even some of the way, like the way that I love her so strong is because
Yeah.
she's feeling something, an emptiness in me that,
Mm,
that I feel like my mother could not do. And then as I'm in my marriage, I'm still having relationship stuff with my mom where she cutting me off. And we're
mm.
not having good conversations. We're not talking for years. And these things are actually happening actively. And so what I will say to you know, respond and relate to what y'all just said, this may be frustrating to some goddess, and you may think this sounds crazy, but I'm gonna tell you it worked. My goddess, she had to accept those areas. We had to be both become aware, but that I needed her in these areas while I
Mm.
did the shadow work for my mother. I still needed her. I didn't. She can't just if something is still in the void, right? And you just move it out. Say somebody gets shot and you plug in that in, or you try to just remove the bullet. If somebody gets stabbed in a certain spot, you just remove the knife. They could bleed out.
Yeah.
So whenever we do realize, dang man, I got mama issues, man, my mama this and that, we do need, and vice versa,
Yes.
for the goddess, whoever is going to be these inner child things, we do need to. This is our support,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
sometimes nowadays support is looked at as weak.
Yeah.
If you support a man, you support a woman. If you're emotionally, love them. If y'all out and he want to give you flowers in front of all the homies, and you want to cook his food and bring his plate to him in front of the whole family, they make these things seem
I
like
just read
it's
a post
something
about
wrong.
that. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Are you good?
Yeah, I literally just posted something
Wow.
on my Instagram. Like, I am not a city girl. I'm bringing my man his plate. I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
one of those. What you want? But it's
Ain't nothing
for
wrong
me
with
to
that.
do that. You gotta be
You gotta be
handling it.
rocking like that.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
And
how it
dudes
is.
don't know when they get to that point, when that dude get to that point where he's pouring back into you and you starting to like, woo, you drowning. Oh, he got to get everything. Now you just like, yes, yes. You know what I
Right.
mean? But it
That's what
gotta
I'm
go both
saying.
ways. And
That's right.
that's how it go. And we have a hard time running into that because that independent woman thing is misunderstood. Like once we talked about earlier, it's not that. If she's on her purpose, you have to understand purpose, and they're not going to understand them. They're not on their purpose. 10-10, as I just said that. Well, 10-10
Right.
our time, bro. I don't know about your time.
No, it's like 7-10
But
over here for us.
yeah, yes,
So let's
most
get into
definitely.
another question then, because I want to make sure that I hit. Matter of fact, before, let's take a quick break. Actually, let's take a break for all of us. We're gonna get into the cosmiometrics with Nefer Soul. So if y'all want to go, take a restroom break, get you some water, we'll be right back.
Cool.
Hello, this is Travis, your goddess Nefer Soul here with the cosmiometrics for the next 7 days, and we are starting off really nice and really smooth with the full moon in Sagittarius. That means there will be a lot of travel, transformation, passion, and a lot of people will be moving forward in different aspects in their life. So this is a good time to work on your career and changing your purpose, and also moving forward into your passion. Maybe you have been stagnant for a while and you're looking to do something new. This is a great time to start over and rebuild your brand, rebuild your face. We also have a lot of planets that is in Taurus right now, so the theme of the week is definitely filled with a lot of Vesuvian energy. So this also aids the career choices and what we are doing with our career, which makes it in coalescence with the full moon in Sag. And another powerful way that we are starting the week off is Sunday will be a King of Diamonds day, which makes the entire week full of diamonds, which means this again is a great time for bringing in new finances, bringing in a lot of abundance. But it's very important that you have been putting in that shadow work that you would have needed to do, and things that have been coming up for you in the past couple weeks. All of that has been leading up to this week where you would actually be able to manifest and create those manifestations into the present moment. If you have not been doing your shadow work, this does not mean that you cannot still create opportunity, but do know the more that you go within and you actually go past the surface level, you will bring yourself in closer proximity to your abundance. So definitely make sure to take advantage of this financial week, this Taurus energy, this full moon energy, to get yourself right and get yourself in full alignment with this powerful love and career energy that we have embarking upon us this week. And as far as all of this Taurus energy, this is a great time for working on your self-love, heightening your self-love, so doing more spiritual routines or anything that you can do to help bring more nurturing to yourself. Again, the more you water your own garden right now, the more abundance you open yourself up to. So keep on paying attention to all the signs and messages that you've been getting lately, because it's all redirecting you to this abundance, to this elevation, and to this amazing growth that you are embarking on. Now let's head back to our cosmically scheduled program, POTUS.
Much gratitude to Nefer Soul.
I like
She
that.
say,
Look at Nefer Soul. She look cute and all
say,
tropical and stuff out there.
She's doing that thing. And setting the
I ain't
tone.
see her in the chat tonight yet. She must be busy
I'm
right
not.
now.
She be like, she in there. She probably the first comment. It's not Never Soul. It's under what is her
Oh, she
name,
got
bro?
under something else.
Nispo.
Yeah.
Nispo.
Crispo.
Nispo.
Oh,
With a
okay,
K,
okay.
with a K-N-I. Yeah. Yeah, she be
Oh
lit. I ain't
yeah,
gonna
I
lie. I'll
see
be like, it's almost like a ritual.
it. I
Never
see
Soul be the first comment
it.
every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay, family.
Yeah,
You know,
I see it.
but that's just for y'all, anybody, for what, the energy of the week of what's going on, what I'm saying? It's always important. And so sometimes we spend a lot of time trying to find the information to know what's going on. So it's always good to connect with those people in our community that are already aligned with those powers and those gifts to give us those updates.
Shit.
That's what's up. We are definitely all building something that we cannot be fired from. Okay, focus on yourself. Choose you. That's what I tell people. I can't be fired from what I got going on. So you need to focus. Choose you. I say that every time. Choose you. And I don't want people to take. Some people will take that in a way where they think it's no. It's exactly what I said. You get up every day. You better choose you, because Candace is definitely going to choose her. That's a big part of your purpose too. You know what I mean? Most definitely.
So when
So,
it, so we both over there now. You got to go.
so being at this level, how do you know how do you deal with thoughts and feelings about what you could be doing to get you further in your purpose or get you further in your journey? How do you keep yourself grounded?
I do a lot of journal writing. I do a lot of Otter. I have Otter AI. I don't know if you guys use that or not, but I'm actually trying to create. I'm not gonna say trying. I am creating an audio book and a book. So I do a lot of talking. I'm outside all day long. I stay off of the water, so I'm always outside at the water. I'm always in the sun. And I really just I stay in my present. That's the best thing that I can do. I stay in my present and I stay to myself. And me getting off of social media was the best thing I ever did. Like I said, it's the first time being on in 3 months, but this is on YouTube. But being on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I let a lot of that go. And once I did let that go, now I was being told I have a mentor, which is my cousin. Shout out to Jamel, because he is like the best mentor ever. He told me a long time ago. He said, you got to get off of that, because it's a lot. You know, it could be negative things we can get from Facebook. We can get positive things from off of these social media platforms. But if you're not really strong enough and you're trying to get to a different point, sometimes it requires you to step away from certain things. And social media was one of those things that I had to step away from. And once I did, it was, ooh, there you go. Everything started coming fast, everything. And I was like, wow. And I had to understand that maybe I was doing unfair comparison to myself versus other people on Instagram. And I didn't even realize that I was, even though I was putting out positive content, I'm doing my podcast and I'm minding my business and doing this and that and the other. I still had a tendency to look at other people and say, well, wow, okay, I know I could be doing this and I could be doing this, but that ain't what I supposed to be doing. So starting a podcast, okay, that was good, but that wasn't it. All right, you started this, but no, that wasn't it. So I had to go sit down, come off of social media, and lock in with Candace. And not lock in with nobody else and what they doing, what party's doing this. I had to leave alcohol alone. I do not drink. You know, it was a lot of things that I had to pull away from, because you got to recognize your demons. Once you recognize your own demons, then you're able to take authority over those demons, and then boom, now everything just is open season for me. Now I can see a solution. I can see the light to what I've been trying to figure out all of this time, just because I had to come off of that. So it's just us figuring out, you know what I mean?
It's amazing, like, how much nature reflects that. Like, ooh. if we can take, because I know all of this sometimes sounds a lot to people. If we could just take this and direct it and reflect it towards nature. Nature literally does, like, you can literally do that in agriculture and in farming. So if you're like growing a tree, an apple tree or something, and you want more fruit, you cut off some of the limbs so the tree doesn't use energy to grow those branches, so it can focus on the fruit. So I just find that very powerful, that us being connected to nature, we're doing literally the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So again, for anybody that is looking to understand what they're going through, or understand why they operate the way they operate, go in nature and just study animals and different characteristics and things like that they have, because it's literally showing you. You know what I'm saying? 1,000% of the time.
Yeah. You said 1,000%.
Yeah.
I want to give another example for the goddess. It's like them split ends, them dead ends you got to cut off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep,
Yes,
and only we know it. Only us. We only
that's
know it. It's like, how do you know what you good at if you don't even give yourself the options for it to be
yeah,
good or bad? Like,
that's right.
So
Exactly.
I say, I say. So let's segue here. We're finna talk. I mean, we've been talking a lot about relationship, a lot of, you know, but let's drop some more gems. So let's see which one I'm gonna go with this one. So if you are currently in a relationship or in your past relationship, how did you balance business and home?
Mm.
ooh.
I
I'm
established
I'm
a
still
schedule.
struggling. I don't have an answer.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
We kind of already told you, bro. That other side got to balance off.
yeah. I really don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't I don't have an answer. I'm
I
like,
have a
go ahead.
schedule for me. I have a schedule. My family comes first. So I work and I'm getting off 5:30. And that time is with my family. When I first started out with my business, I was, you pretty much open to anything. It's like, oh, clients coming in and you got people coming in. And it's like, one part is the potential of seeing your business expand. And then you
Mm-hmm.
realize you're missing out on family time opportunities. And once I started seeing that dynamic, and with me, I have children, I was like, nah, something got to give. I feel like I can still be fulfilled and get what is for me and put a schedule together. I haven't missed out on any opportunities or any money. It's just I didn't have any boundaries. Like going in, you just wide open. So for me, I established a schedule. I'm not working this day.
Yeah.
I take, step days off for me, things that I need to do for myself. And like I said, I have a cutoff time. You get in where you fit in. 'Cause the
Okay.
rest of the
Okay.
time
That's that choose you.
mhm, absolutely.
Yep, you have
Absolutely.
to. I remember that too. I used to be taking orders all over the place, and I bake, so it's like, oh, let people do what they want to do, and I
Yes.
was like, oh no, I can't do that. So I get you on that. You have to have a
Hmm.
schedule. You got to have that discipline because you will miss
Yeah.
out. And even I noticed I took a 90-day contract to work for a hospital. I've been in the medical field for 21 years, so I took a little 90-day contract to kind of get some money to just invest or whatever. And those during those 90 days. I totally understood what they say when they say we don't supposed to be working for nobody. When I
That part.
tell you the distractions that I
Mm,
was receiving from being in those places, not only did I not feel everybody's energy
yes.
when I'm going every day, I'm like, I can't hear this. I cannot hear this. It's like, I don't want to hear. I can't. I don't know if I can do this. I heard a girl say, I have big dreams and I have small money. When I
Wow.
heard her say that, I said, baby, you are so much more than this job and what you think you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't know if you assigned to me or not, but I wish I could so I can help you to tap in.
Mm,
And that's the part that I think having these 90 days being at this job was teaching me that Candace, you forgot about yourself. You get
mm.
wrapped up in that damn job program and you don't even realize you didn't got into their program. You got to go to lunch at a certain time. You got to do
Yes.
this. They slaving half of the people up in there. They don't know their worth, so they can tell these people anything.
That's
And
right.
I'm thinking like, damn, now back then when I was working, oh hell yeah, they was slaving me. I was doing whatever they wanted me to do. And it's like now it was like universe said, I'm gonna put you in this spot. But I want you to find a niche in the system and I want
Wow.
you to figure that out so you can have a better business. This is going to teach you to be a
Mhm.
better person and a better manager. This is going to have you look at things totally different. You're not going to treat your people that work for you like this. This is slavery.
That is.
This is not right.
Yeah.
Like these people are worth way more than that. I found out what these girls was getting paid versus what I was getting paid because I went through a contracting company. I said,
Mm,
why is it that you guys will pay me way more money than these girls is with y'all every single day? That's not right. So Candace need to change that. When you come work for me, now this is what you're gonna make. This is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna have you feeling slave. You got people scared to call off of work because they're scared they're gonna lose their job. They got families. They have people at home they gotta get to. Why put that pressure on people that really is just trying to live? But once again, you don't know your worth, you're going to accept anything. And
Anything.
most people in these jobs, they know these people don't know their worth, so they just do whatever they do and make them do whatever they want them to do, you know. And it's up to you to be able to step into that and say, no, I don't have to do that. I can actually work for myself, and you use that 9 to 5 to build that empire. That's all
Right.
it's supposed to be used for. Other than that, it's a cutoff sign for that, because it's a distraction. It's a big distraction, just like social media and everything else can be.
Yes.
And me going in there, I found that, and I said, nah, this right here, this is my purpose. This is part of what I was supposed to have been doing a long time ago. I figured it out. Now I'm about to master it, because we have to hit the ground running. Our feet need to be on that ground to understand how we're not going to treat our own people when we go into that position. And that's the whole point. Some people get in a position and they go the bad way. They can make money. They could be trillionaires, billionaires. They done found the niche in the system, but they're making money in a bad way. Whereas us, we come in, we find a niche in the system. We coming as a whole. We coming together. We multiplying stuff. We're making it better, not worse. We being a part of the solution, not the problem. So I did find that
that God is, women being bosses is not far-fetched. People think that's like, and y'all been talking a lot about, the difference between y'all and us when it comes to manifestation. People have to understand that women are the creators of life. There's no bigger manifestation that we've seen in this realm, in the 3D realm, bigger than that. We are all here from that process. You know what I'm saying? The creation of life, birth. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are a portal, literally. So us, as we tap into life force energy, that life force energy has to go somewhere to manifest. Whereas a portal can manifest nothing out of nothing. And that's what y'all are. Y'all are literally walking portals that can literally shift rooms and bring things to life in seconds, when in a thought, in an intention. And you see what I'm saying? And so this whole y'all, the world, the independent. That's why they attacked the mindset and made the toxic independent woman, because they knew y'all power, but they also knew that the man was looking at y'all like, I'm the man, I'm da 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 da. So they really played on the toxic relationship of masculine and feminine, and made the woman create an independent mindset to say, I'm going against this nigga, and then to have this man like, if she an independent woman, then she my enemy. And now nobody's elevating. You see what I'm saying? Nobody's elevating. Now we're competing, but nobody's moving. Because I need you. I would not be doing the things that I'm doing in my life, and the way that I'm building my business, and the way that the things that I'm able to do in my life without my goddess. 0%. And y'all never seen her. You see what I'm saying? But I could not do none of it. And we have to understand that is the dynamic, whether male or female. You can't do nothing without this person. If they your person, they're gonna hold you accountable. They're gonna have your back. They're going to, even when she said she got the cutoff time, her doing that is, even though he loves her, he supports her, he obviously is going to, that's his wife. But when she does that, his support even different. Say she got an event after 5:30, that's, a few hours, whatever. He's finna go to that event. He finna support. I got the kids, whatever. He's finna be so much more, ready, because he's grateful for the sacrifice and the awareness that she is and the decision that she is making. So it's not about not being busy, not putting in that work. Just show that other person that you do care.
That's right.
And be considerate. That's what I'm hearing from this, from this segment of the conversation.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, bro.
Okay.
My question is, okay, if you have a woman that comes into your life, and of course, she's this independent woman, she's in her purpose, blah, 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 and you're not all the way there yet, but you're somewhat there, based on what she's telling you and what she's saying to you about, oh, I got to do this, like all the things that she has planned for her business, but you're not quite in that lane yet. Is that something that, of course, we talked about earlier, it may be some guys, they might be intimidated by that, but will it feel like you on a time clock to get your shit together to catch up with her? Would that make you feel like, damn, am I on time? Is she gonna walk away if I don't do this and this and that?
I think that's based off her perspective,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what perspective she's coming with, you know. But if she's a balanced woman and she, you know, then I would say it's a superpower. So if a man, this is the thing, right? To the guys, to the men, the key is vision. So if you get with a woman, right, and your business ain't up, you ain't got the, you know, you ain't making the money you want to make that business happen, but you got a vision and you actually putting in work. I don't care if it's the things that are free. If you're doing these things and you got notebooks wrote down, you can show her receipts, baby. This is what I want to do, and then you see, and then every day she see you. I don't give a damn if you sick, nigga. This is something you do. She like, man, like she sees that, then you know that is priceless, because honestly, y'all are naturally, that motherhood, that mothership is gonna take over, and y'all are gonna be like, this is the thing. Every corporation, the CEO, not every, but most of them, the CEO is a boss, but the company's ran by the woman. So the y'all are we are the people that can go find the puzzle box. Y'all the people that dump the puzzle pieces out and put them together.
That's right.
Hey.
So,
I literally just said this to
Yeah.
somebody that I'm dating. I was like,
and I'm glad you just said that, because that answers the questions for most guys is worried about that. As long as you're showing some type of work, like you said, and potential, a woman won't walk away from you. I think guys get too focused on trying to keep you, and that's the part that they don't have control over most of the time. So if you're dating a woman and you see she doing all this stuff, but you're not really doing the work in that manner like you're supposed to, you're too focused on if she's going to leave or not, so you can't focus on what you need to do. So you really, as a man, you need to focus and stay straight, and whatever happens, it happens, because the universe, everything is made to work out for us, not against us. So if she's meant to be, she's going to be there.
Don't be intimidated because your woman's strengths ain't your strengths. That's your superpower. She yours.
Yeah.
The things that my goddess have, she went to school, she's intelligent, all these different things that I wasn't able to tap into. You know what I'm saying? But I use that to my benefit.
That's
you see
right.
what I'm saying? And I embody, not look at her like, look at you, girl. You know what I'm saying? Just I love it. I don't gotta look at it like, man, I feel this type of way because she can do this better than me. That's goofy. She's yours. And I think sometimes that's what creates the competitive nature.
Yes. That's not necessary. That is completely.
I want to say, Lisa Edwards, when you put your headphones on, it made you lower. So I thought you were saying something a while ago, but I couldn't really tell. It sounded like you're.
Oh no, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh no, it went lower. Maybe you was whispering.
No, I was never that. That's never me. I'm gonna say what I say. But no, I was just agreeing. I wasn't.
Okay. I was making sure we ain't missing them gems.
I do have a question though. And the other like aspect of that, like if your woman is doing things more things than you, as like a woman, like from like your girlfriends, like outside looking in, and they say like, well, why he ain't doing this, or why you gotta do all this? How does that make you feel? Like, do you question like, well, yeah, he should be doing something, or like on my level, like how does that influence how you see your man? Does my question make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if you got homegirls that's seeing everything and they're asking you, girl, why he ain't doing?
Yeah, like how does that make you feel? Just like piggybacking
because
off
you
of
know
what
your
said.
partner. If you know your partner, you know what he's doing, you know his strength, and you know what's going on with him, then they irrelevant. It shouldn't really bother you because you know your man.
And then most of the
where
time,
you gotta really know.
Most of the time we know the women that are around us. So sometimes it's just you don't share.
There you go, because they messy. You know, she's talking, she's asking that type of question.
You know,
Okay.
And
I don't need
expect,
somebody questioning me about what I have going on with my partner. I feel like that's a sacred thing. And so
Yeah.
opening that up to opinions from other people, like that's gonna bother me because that's my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my
Yep.
connection.
Mm-hmm.
and expect to have
Yep.
love that people never seen. Me and my
Yeah.
wife, nobody ever seen other people love. My family never seen, and things were they were weird. They didn't make sense to people. But as the time went by, they was like, "Wow, this is real love."
Mhm.
This is because
Yeah.
people all they want is to see a fairy tale anyway. That's why people end up getting into the relationship they get into, and looking for a fairy tale. But when you can,
Mhm.
Yeah.
when they see like, hold on, they ain't no fairy tale. Like they really like that. Then they end up designing what you want, and so that they
Mhm.
now they got to keep that conversation going. So at first it was from this
Yep.
light. Now they hating on you. Now
Yes.
they
Yep.
want you to sabotage yourself.
Yes.
Yep. I think it's better keep your relationships private until whenever. Keep it to yourself. I'm talking about all on social media. I said, "Oh, this time it's different. Ain't nobody gonna." By the time you pop out, that's my husband. And I'm like,
I know,
"Damn,
right?
you been dating all this time?" Like for real, even on air, I'm like, I ain't even gonna admit to it. I'm dating. It's like, hey, you would know when you know.
Right.
Yeah, do it differently this time, and that's a part of switching the algorithm. Okay, you got to switch that too.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
got we got we got to kill these social media based relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
That's true.
most definitely. All
Yeah.
that goals, goals, goals. You don't want them goals because you don't even know what she going through to get him. You don't know what he done went
Exactly.
through to get with her. No, nothing.
Yeah.
And we only know that because look at the stuff that we went through to get to where we
Mhm.
at. And people look at us and be like, "Oh, you so strong," and you so this, and be like, "Baby, if you only knew." Okay.
Exactly.
Yes, they just don't talk about their stuff. Okay, and
And
we
so
do.
we are, it's getting obviously later and later on y'all end, so we're gonna get ready to get to a closing. But I wanna and y'all, you know what I'm saying, it's on y'all, but I don't know if Kai got another question you want to ask, but I do got a question that I want to close with. Um so you got a question, bro? If not, I'm finna
Nah, they it's like y'all was over here reading my paper or something. So I'm good.
now fact they was going in. So
That's
this
what's up.
is this is for the guys, man. This is for the guys that are out here seeking a holistic woman, the guys that are out here that have been healing, that have been putting in that work, that and have been running into these cycles. They ready to break this karmic cycle, but maybe they don't know, they may be intimidated, and so they may be overthinking. They don't really know what a woman in her purpose. They never felt that before. They don't know what they don't know how they feel. They don't know what that looks like. They don't know how to accept it. So what type of quality should a man have when dealing with a woman with purpose?
Ooh, honey. Most
uh
definitely, you said earlier that vision. He definitely has to have a vision. If he don't know where he's going just yet, but he got that vision, he got that stuff wrote down in a notebook, he got the drive to get it, the willingness for him to get things done is very important. I have to see your willingness to know, okay, I can trust you to protect me, I can trust you to provide for me, I can trust you with my heart. I can trust you with my wound. I can trust you with my kids, and so on and so on. That has to be definitely proven. It's all starting cerebral. It's conversation, mental stimulation. It's not sex. So we have to take sex off the table. We got to take money off of the table, baby. It's not your money. It's not your ding ding. It don't have nothing to do with that. It's way deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that. You need to be able to have that dialogue, that conversation with me. We need to be able to kick it for hours and talk about it, and you're not scared to be vulnerable. All of that got to come in play before you gonna really have a real woman that's really gonna move on you. He's respecting
That's
your boundaries. He's being persistent. For real, he's being persistent. He's talking future with you. He ain't talking about, oh, let's go play Netflix and let's go sit down and have. No, it's way we talking business moves. Okay, because
gotta
that's
be
where
ready,
I'm at.
and he has to
Yep,
be ready
yeah.
for it. He has to be ready for a woman like that. I mean, literally,
yep,
he has to know who he is. Because
yep.
you don't know who you are until you stand next to a woman who is purposeful.
Whew.
Ooh,
Yeah.
honey, say it one more time, girl.
You don't know who you are until you stand next to a woman who is purposeful. You know, I mean,
Ooh.
just like I was talking about before, how we as women ask for certain things when it comes to a man. Well, that man is asking for that type of woman, but do you really want that type of woman? Can you take that type
Yeah.
of woman? You
Yep.
know?
Yeah. I think there are a lot of characteristics, but I think accountability is
Mm,
really important.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to be like, you know what? I didn't do that right. Let me figure this out.
Yep.
And I think for me personally, it's being able to submit to God. I think that's
Yeah.
very important.
Definitely.
We think we know where we're going, but ultimately God has a plan. And being able to submit and be like, okay, what am I doing? How am I going? Where I'm moving? What I'm doing? And being able to execute, that shows that you
Mm-hmm.
have leadership qualities and
Yeah.
Yep.
you're able
Mm-hmm.
to receive.
That's right.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Definitely being able to receive that's the biggest thing. That's for
Yeah.
everybody. We got to be able to receive each other. Because most of the time with men too, he got to be in his highest consciousness at all times because he got to vet everything that's coming across his path.
That's right.
Everything got to get vetted because I know I do most definitely. And he has to also know that he can't overcome any obstacles that he don't believe that exist.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
Most definitely. Ooh, that
And
sounds like a
look,
long list, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like,
It's not.
some of those things are actually like a domino effect of each other. You do one and then it kind of flows, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
like once you start healing, to anybody that is intimidated by healing, it may feel complicated at first because you're looking at a part of yourself you never seen. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you clear up your lens and you have them they got a mask like Scooby Doo. They got a mask on. When you
Yeah.
finally
Yes.
catch them and take the mask off, you realize it's just a regular person and it's you, and
Mm.
you gotta go through that process. So, don't be
Yes.
intimidated, by the healing process.
Yeah.
Yep. Most definitely.
There's so many beautiful revelations on the end of learning about yourself. Like I'm still doing the work to learn who I am, and some things are very ugly and it hurts, but there's also like some cool things. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty cool. So it's like, but it's like I don't think men like have that opportunity to do that, and I
Mm.
think that just being able to sit with yourself for like hours
Mm-hmm.
and just like talk to yourself. It sounds crazy, but it's so fun. And
Mm.
just
Yep.
Yeah,
peel back the layers of childhood and your homies and
Yeah.
whomever, and just really knowing you and connecting to God and saying like, who am I? What do I like? So I think there's a lot of um, beautiful things that can happen if they just took the time to like sit and just reflect instead of trying to like smash their way through life.
Mm.
Yeah.
literally.
Most
Yeah.
definitely.
And so
I
y'all
think
Literally.
I
understand.
I think the problem with that is like with men with us is we try to control change
Yeah.
because
Mm.
we
Mm-hmm.
understand that yes we have good aspects of us but we also have these bad aspects and we think we need to
Yes.
change that when that's what
Mm.
was mapped in our avatar. So that is actually a guide that needs to be alchemized so that you know how to utilize that low vibrational
Yes.
emotion or trigger or whatever in its most
Mhm.
holistic state of resonance. So like I would definitely say as well, just understanding that you do need to change, but you don't need to change
Yeah.
your original source code of who
Yeah.
you are
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be an
Mm-hmm.
experience in this vessel. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's right.
Yeah.
a lot of people like to say we're souls having a human experience, but it's also in duality to that. We're also humans having a soul experience. So we
Yeah.
can't
Mm-hmm.
change, but we can allow change to change for us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
you're just tapping in. Like you're just
Mm-hmm.
really sitting there like, I actually like chocolate, and not denying that you don't like
Right.
chocolate, you know? Like it's okay to like chocolate, but like
Yeah.
what does that
Yeah.
mean? You know?
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's okay to
I
be who
Yep.
like that
you
you said
are, but just
chocolate
like
because the simplest things.
right.
Yep. So
That's
And
it.
that's
simple. And we
okay.
definitely got to set the tone. Women, we set the tone for a lot of stuff. And I said that
Yes.
way back on my first episode on our podcast. And I got kind of beat up a little bit about that because women were saying, oh, you're taking up for the men. But no, you set the tone. Is most of the time that queen, she wake that king up a lot of times. And he has to also learn, like I said earlier, to be submissive to that because you know her intentions is pure with you. It's okay. You gotta let go. That control you talking about, bro. You gotta let that go and say, okay, she not here to hurt me.
That's
This is
right.
a whole new person, and it's the same thing with a woman. We do the same thing. He's not here to hurt me. He showed me
Yeah.
nothing but persistent consistency, and we gotta let that past go because that past is in the way. Man, it's
Yeah.
been so many times I allowed my past to take over, and that's where everything just went downhill because I couldn't see anything else. But oh no, I ain't going through that again. He did this. He about to do this too, and it's not even that case. So it's on both ends or whatever. So I just hope that everybody get that opportunity to start building dialogue, start having
Hmm.
the communication barriers just unbroke because that's what's going on. It's
Yeah.
communication.
And it's
Yeah.
really
That
the
and just
chessboard.
everybody challenging on who gonna be vulnerable, who ain't gonna be vulnerable,
Yeah.
who gonna be submissive, and dudes want
Too
you to
much
submit to
projection.
money. The women want to
Yes.
be so independent to the point they feel they don't need a man. Well, I'm here to tell you, I need one. I want one.
Real
You
bad.
know what I
Real
mean? I
bad.
want the protection. I want all of that. You know what I mean? So,
Man be
and that's
down.
it's sad.
And so I
Okay,
want to break
because
this
sometimes
down.
I'm
Like, in,
tired. I be wanting to sit down and just not think. Sometimes, remember, bro, I was telling you that I'm like sometimes I just want to cuddle up. I want to be quiet, and I don't want to think right now. I just want
Yeah.
to. Sometimes you need that, and it don't
fact.
have to be no sex. It don't have to be nothing. Just let me sit here for a minute. Let me just vent to you and tell you what's going on, and
I
then
ain't
I'm
gonna lie,
okay.
you're
I'll
not
let it
gonna have
out.
no good relationship if you don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
those are the moments that, to be honest, men, you talk about like you want her, like you want her like to be on your time, like that type of time. That's what you do. It's intimacy. It's not
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah.
It's intimacy.
That's true.
Intimacy. Women love intimacy. My wife wake up, she might be like, "Oh, baby, I'm tired." Like, girl, you look amazing tired. What you talking about? You look good. You know, we both just we ain't got our eyes fixed. We got our glasses and stuff, and her glasses. I was like, wow, them glasses really like because to me glasses don't fit everybody. I think I'm one of them people. But with her, I was like, facts, you know. But to her, I was like, wow, you know, they really brought you out, like really, because you gotta understand this is the thing. Women do battle with subconscious things way more than us when it comes
Yeah.
to like
Yeah.
who they are when they walk outside, their
Yeah.
appearance, how they look,
Yeah.
how they walk. A woman to say my knee too fat, you know, it just y'all are so particularly, focused on your body that's so perfected, you know.
Yep.
But to ground a lot of things that we said, I want to look at the chess piece, the chessboard, and how the queen,
Hmm.
she has all these powers. She has the power of every piece on the board. But
Yep.
guess what? If you knock out the king, the game is over.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep. Most
That's what it's
definitely.
like. Don't think you're not powerful because she has all these abilities.
Yeah.
She's your cheat code. And
Mm.
you
Yep.
are here to protect those cheat codes.
That's
Not
right.
Yep.
just physically, but mentally. We
Mm.
are. That's why I say the crown chakra, the masculine energy. It's the crown. It's the head. We are supposed to be guidance. They are the
Yep.
feeling, the intuition. We are the guidance. And what is guidance without intuition, and what is intuition without guidance? Both of them is lost without each other.
That's
That's the
right.
heart
Yep.
space and the crown chakra, masculine, divine, feminine. You see what I'm saying? So I'm done, but we lit. I am grateful for this panel. I
Likewise.
send peace to Kanacia, the wife of creation, for tapping in with us. Once again, y'all gonna get them Healing Coochie shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
That's
that's
it.
my sister,
I
my
love that.
culture. You know, and at this time, is there anything that y'all want to promote?
I can't promote too much because I ain't on Instagram right now. But I'll be back because you already know I'm in the middle of executing some things right now. So when I come back, bro, will have me back on. I'm gonna be, and I'll kind of go through everything. But I am in the middle of doing a third business that is like my baby, and I'm birthing it. And when I tell you, I'm being very quiet, and I'm creeping up with this. I cannot say how much I'm grateful. I'm very, very honored to be able to be put in this place to be able to do that, because it's abundance. It comes from people. It comes from networking. All of us on this panel are not perfect, but we're all able to come together and just make things happen.
That's
This
right.
period. So I appreciate you guys from your views and everything. Like it was amazing. I learned a lot tonight.
Likewise.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you ain't
Amazing.
learning nothing about yourself every day, that means you ain't living. Okay? And choosing you every day. I'm gonna have to stay keep it with that one.
I think for me, just I am an entertainment publicist. So you are a singer, artist, actress, whatever in the entertainment space, let me know. I'm on Instagram at I Know Lisa with 2 A's, IKNOWLISAA. Send me a DM. Let's work.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Every time I see her name, I'll be like, man, I do know Lisa. You know what I'm saying?
That's my brand.
Oh,
That's my, because everybody knows me. It's like, oh, I know Lisa. So that's who I
I love that. Tap in Season Dialogue. I have a podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast. Listen in. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok. I deliver Monday through Friday inspirationals and just words that will help you get through the day, hopefully. And that's all I need to promote.
Hey.
I say. So, as always, much gratitude to the tribe. We are grateful for y'all spending y'all time tapping in with us. You know, every Sunday we can't do this without y'all.
Thank you.
And obviously, we are a family. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll be tapping in next Sunday per usual. As y'all can tell, the platform is changing, and we are going into that shadow codes to light work. So we are transitioning. You know what I'm saying? So continue to grow, continue to study. You know, continue to journal. You know what I mean? And always understand you can turn a bad day into a good day.
All the time.
I
say.
Oh, my fault, Kyle. You know if he got something to say.
Yeah, all that. Listen, I'm
God took away right
with
now.
downloads. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
say.
this is like speaking to my aunt herself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So-
I say to that.
That's what's
Right.
up.
Peace.
Candlelight in the rising, and I feel amazing. Preparation for Earth.
And finally, bro, I'm ready to turn this ring light off.
man, no. Facts, bro. Hey, we still going live Saturday, bro?
What you talking about, G?
Bro, we supposed to be grounding the sound every Saturday at 10:10.
Oh yeah, 10:10. You sure right, bro. We definitely got to do that. You know, how about this? We start this Saturday. You know, this coming up Saturday, and we just rock out like we've been doing.
I say, nah, we definitely could do that. You know what I'm saying? So every Saturday at 10:10 a.m., we are grounding the sound. Everything you've been going through stressfully throughout this week, today, this Saturday is where you're able to get some alleviation.
Also, if you have just started your healing journey or your shadow work journey, and you feel like, man, they moving the light work, and I still need to learn more about my shadow. Understand, we are always going to be doing shadow work, but in this process of light work, go back and tap in on those past episodes, because this is podcast, not podcast. Let's get it.
So anytime that you see us going live on Sunday for Shadow Work Sundays, the previous day, Saturday, is where we will be grounding the sound on Instagram Live. So it's easily accessible for each and every one of you. So make sure y'all tap in every Saturday on Instagram Live at I Am King Manifest 777, at Khalil on Instagram at 10:10 a.m. to ground the sound. I shake.
Peace.